Hi guys, 18 Dapper here and welcome to this match preview for this Saturday's League 1 fixture. It's MK Dons versus Doncaster Rovers. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview, MK Dons versus Doncaster Rovers in League 1 this Saturday. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you for returning, thank you for sticking with the channel, thank you for your support, it is greatly appreciated. If this video has brought you to the channel or you're new to it, please consider clicking subscribe, and this is the format that we go through match previews. There's a slight difference in this one though to our usual format, but we go through previous meetings, we look at current form across all competitions. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to profile, and this is the little change. We've got an MK Dons focus with Jonathan Harries of the MK DSA, so stay tuned for that one partway through the video. And then to round the video off, I give my predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub. Me and the family do a predictions league table, so there's an update on that. There's plenty of movement in that from Tuesday night's fixture. And then to finish the video off, my score prediction to end it. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. Doncaster and MK Dons have faced off a total of 15 times in our history, and it's been quite good hunting ground for Donny, with 7 wins, 5 draws, and we've only been beaten 3 times in this fixture, so something, hopefully that's a good omen coming into this one, because we need points pretty desperately. We are in desperate need of any points that we can get. But looking back at the last 5 fixtures, we go back to the 1920 season where it was a 1-1 draw at the Chemo Stadium and then a 1-0 win at Stadium MK. And then in the 2020-2021 season, it was a 1-1 draw at the Chemo Stadium and then we got beat 1-0 at Stadium MK. And then earlier this season, it was one of our few wins this season with a 2-1 victory at the Chemo Stadium. So couple of wins, couple of draws in there and 1 defeat. As I say, the form or our history leans towards Donny. I don't think it will this Saturday in all honesty, but I'll take it, definitely. Normally on this slide we're talking about the other team having the edge and stuff, so it's nice to see it swaying the other direction, but hopefully, as I say, it's a good omen going into Saturday and we can get something from this fixture. Moving on to current form, this is where it says that we probably won't get something from this fixture, because Donny are coming into this one off the back of 5 straight defeats in our last 5 games. MK Dons on the other hand, a draw, defeat, draw and 2 wins. But on the Rovers, for me, it's continued improvement this week, performances wise, but it's been pretty predictable in terms of results this week as well, with 2 defeats, a 2-1 against Wigan and then a 3-1 midweek against Cambridge. But midweek we should have been out of sight in the first half. We've hit the bar, we've hit the post twice, so we've hit the woodwork 3 times. We've had chances cleared off the line, we just couldn't find the back of the net, and then one mistake and Cambridge counter attack and it's 1-0 and heads drop again, which is frustrating. But we've come to expect it, I'm afraid, this season. But to stand any chance of getting out of this, I don't think we will. But to stand any sort of chance, we need to add quality over the next couple of weeks. There's talk of a player coming in this week. He's not arrived at the time of recording, but hopefully we do get another player over the line this week. And we just need that bit of quality to add to an underachieving squad this season. And for me, I want to see us get a good run of results, a good run of form going into League 2. I do believe that we will be a League 2 team next season, but there's still 60 points up for grabs, so with the right additions and a hell of a lot of luck that we've not had at all for the last 12 months, who knows, miracles could happen. But I am of the mindset that we'll be a League 2 team next season. So if we recruit for League 2 and we get some good players and we bounce straight back, happy days. Do I think Gary McSheffrey is the man to bring us back? I think he needs an opportunity too. I think performances wise and kind of the feeling around the club from a personal point of view is much more positive under Gary McSheffrey, and I think he's getting better performances from the players. So yeah, for me, Gary McSheffrey needs given a little bit more of an opportunity, regardless what division we stay in. If he keeps us in the league, then definitely keep him in the job. But for me, if we drop down to League Two, I think he does need that opportunity to try and get us straight back into League One. But that will be a tough ask. On to MK Dons, having a positive season so far. They're currently sitting in 5th position coming into this fixture, so it's going to be another tough game. We've got a run of very tough games coming up across the month of February. Saturday, Tuesday against teams in and around the top 10. So yeah, it's going to be a tough running for the Rovers, but a couple of good additions for MK Dons in January so far should give them the squad, in my opinion, to continue their form and fight to stay in the playoffs towards the end of the season. But they're out of all the cup competitions. The one defeat in their last 5 was against Charlton in the Papa John's Trophy. But there's been a couple of disappointing results over recent weeks as well. The draw against Accrington Stanley, it's a tough place to go. They make it very difficult to get a result, but I think MK Dons fans would be wanting a win there. And the other draw in their last 5 was against Gillingham, another team struggling towards the bottom end of the table. So another result where you'd think in the playoffs that's a game that you should be winning. So for me, those results show a little bit of vulnerability. So potentially we could have a chance, especially with our history against MK Dons. Moving on to the player profile for this video, I've gone with our new signing. This is bearing in mind that we've not got another new signing this week yet. It is Josh Martin. He came in just before the Cambridge game. Link to MK Dons. A little quick overview for Josh. 20 years old, currently on loan from Norwich, and is an attacking player. He's down as a winger. 20 appearances across his career so far with 1 goal, and he was very unfortunate not to get a second goal. Added to his tally against Cambridge, a wonderful free kick which was tipped onto the crossbar by the keeper. But it looks like he's got ability, pace, tricky. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play in a Rovers shirt. You never know, he may be the key to unlocking some defences, that little bit of creativity to find the strikers. Hopefully Kieran Agard will get his first goal soon. But yeah, welcome to Doncaster Rovers, Josh. I hope to see you play and improve the squad over the next couple of weeks. And now moving on to MK Dons Focus. So a big thank you to Jonathan for joining me on the channel. Let's hear what he has to say about Milton Keynes Dons. So I'm joined by Jonathan Harries, contributor to the MK DSA, and link to his Twitter and the website is in the description down below. Thanks for your time today, Jonathan. Hope you're well.
Yep, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, all things considered. You may recognise Jonathan from the League One review show last Sunday. Hopefully it'll be on this Sunday so we can digest and dissect the game between MK Dons and Doncaster. But for now, we're just previewing it. So first things first, we'll start over the summer. Russell Martin set the team up. He did a lot of recruitment and then decided to jump ship. What were your thoughts on all of that? Was there a little bit of fear and kind of apprehension going into the season, or were you quite confident that there was going to be a seamless transition into this season or not?
Well, first of all, there was a lot of anger and disappointment towards Russell Martin and his coaching staff. I felt that Pete Winkelman had actually backed him in the transfer market. We'd actually got a real decent squad. We've got Mo Isa, we've got Troy Parrott, we've got Max Waters on loan. We obviously signed Scott Twine. And then towards, well, I think this was a Russell Martin signing, but Peter Kioso came after Russell Martin left. So you looked at that squad and you thought we've got a serious chance for the playoffs in what is a very competitive League One. I was a bit apprehensive once he left because I was thinking, who's out there that could take this young progressive squad forward? And no one had heard of Liam Manning. His name suddenly came up and we were all a bit, oh, that's a bit left field. Once we did a bit of research, it was, you could see what line the club was going down because he likes to play attacking football. He likes passing. He's a bit less possession based than Russell Martin. We all know what that was like under us. Bored teams to death. Into submission with 100 passes before we'd actually have a shot. But Liam Manning seems to have seems to have steadied the ship and seems to have probably taken us to another level.
Can't disagree with that, to be fair. Like you say, he's a little bit more direct than what Russell Martin was. As you say, 100 passes before he took a shot on. I think there's a little bit more urgency in getting those shots off under Manning. So not looking forward to Saturday, if I must say so myself. But as a season so far, you're currently sat in 5th coming into this one. Coming into the back of this off of 2 wins on the bounce, I believe it is. But a couple of kind of strange results in there. The 0-0 against Gillingham. You'd be expecting to beat a team like that. But season as a whole, what were your expectations at the start? And do you think you'll finish in the playoffs or not?
Well, as I said, I think I realistically was going to go for playoffs, whether Russell Martin was in charge or not. Just looking at the squad and I sort of tempered my expectations a bit once Liam Manning was announced, because obviously I didn't know much about him. But he settled in well. I think one of his first games, he won 1-0 at home, 2-1 at home to Charlton. You could really see then what he was trying to get across. Then I think he got manager of the month quite early on. It might have been October or November. He got manager of the month, which
that's a poison chalice, though, isn't it?
It is. It was just before we played Doncaster, actually, quite ironically. So, yeah, he was. I honestly think that playoffs is more than attainable. As I said on your preview show on Sunday, and to other people, there's a lot of away games that look a bit tricky coming up. We've got Rotherham, still got to go to Rotherham, still got to go to Sunderland, still got to face Wigan at the Stadium MK. I think the top 4 are probably set. I'm not sure in what order, but we can get playoffs, and who knows in a playoff how well you'll do. But
it's a lottery, isn't it?
It is. It's an absolute lottery, and I hate it when my team's involved, but love it when my team's not involved. If that makes sense.
Yeah, complete sense.
I'm sure you can back that up. Being the Doncaster fan, we've been in the playoffs a couple of seasons back.
Yeah, we've tasted victory and defeating them. So yeah, seeing both sides of the coin on that one. So completely understand. So yeah, you're thinking playoffs more than attainable this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think automatics is too far out of reach. I think Rotherham and Wigan are going to be the 2 that go up, but yeah, I'd be more than happy with playoffs.
Beautiful. So moving on to the game on Saturday, you've sent me through your predicted team lineup. I will get that on the screen now.
Yep.
Talk us through this.
Right, so in goal, we've got Jamie Cumming, who we got on loan from Chelsea. He had a good, strong first half of the season with a struggling Gillingham team. I think he's got the most saves in all of the top 4 divisions. A real good goalkeeper. Apparently, he was really good on the ball as well, similar to what we had. Back 3, because Harry Darling had a hamstring injury at Portsmouth, I've taken the calculated risk. He's not going to be risked, considering we've got 3 games in a week. So I've gone with Aidan Baldwin, who's a more than ample replacement. Warren O'Hara will then move into the centre of defence, and he can play anywhere along the defence and have a real solid game. And obviously the immovable object in Captain Dean Lewington, our very own Coppinger, if you were.
Part of the furniture, isn't he?
Absolutely part of the furniture. Always looks weird whenever he's not playing. We then play with 2 quite attacking wing backs in Daniel Harvey, and it would have been Peter Chioso, but unfortunately Luton have recalled him back. So the only option we've got for right wing back is Tanai Watson, who has performed admirably these last 2 weeks. In fact, he's kept Chioso out the side, so I'm not too fussed about that one. Now, midfield, it was a bit tricky because, as I was saying to Dan before the preview recorded, looks like Matt O'Reilly is off to Celtic. Ethan Robson's gone back to Blackpool. They've recalled him because they're struggling on midfielders. So at the minute, I've put Matt O'Reilly, but that's likely to change to Connor Coventry, who's signed on loan from West Ham, who was at Peterborough at the start of the season. Hope everyone's keeping up with this because I'm struggling myself. Then you've got Josh McEachran, who seems to be our fulcrum. He can get the ball from deep and then just let the attacking players play simple passes. And then the front three, well, they talk for themselves. Scott Twine, unbelievable first half of the season, can score a cracking free kick, can score from range, can pass, can assist, bundle of energy, although you wouldn't know that because I think he got substituted against you guys earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Theo Corbeanu, who Sheffield Wednesday fans were a bit gutted when he left them in January, but settled in, scored an absolute corker against Portsmouth last week and has settled in very well. And then you've got Mo Isa up top, who, if you give him half a chance, the likelihood is he'll hit the target, which I'm sure most Doncaster fans would absolutely love a striker like that at the moment. When you think you've got in reserve, you've got Troy Parrott in reserve, got Kieran Boateng in reserve as well, plus any other additions that might or might not come in before Saturday. It is quite a strong squad, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's not nice to look at, I'll be honest, Jonathan. Going into this one on our form, the worst away form in the top 5 divisions, the last thing you want to see is that front three of Twine, Issa and Corbeanu. It's going to be a very, very tough afternoon, I think. Would you say that those three are the one to watch, or is there someone in that starting 11 who you'd add to those obvious 3 players to watch on Saturday?
Well, if he is still there on Saturday, and there is a slim chance, but I very much doubt it, Matt O'Reilly could be the one that could unlock like a low block. I imagine Doncaster will be coming with a low block like most teams down the bottom do, hoping for a point, maybe sneak one on the counter attack. But I'd say, yeah, definitely the front three are the ones to look for. Corbeanu and Twine tend to swap roles. They tend to
cause chaos,
float about, yeah, and cause an absolute nuisance. And of course, get the ball to Mo Isa in the box or in behind. If you play a high line, the likelihood is he'll have a shot on target. Scored 2 in his last 3 as well. So yeah, certainly the front three are probably going to be the ones to watch if you're if you can watch us on Stadium MK on Saturday.
It's not looking good for Rovers, put it that way. And the final thing that I want to ask you before I let you get off, thank you for spending a little bit of time on this preview. It's quite nice doing a little bit of a different format every now and again, so thank you for joining me. The last thing, score prediction for Saturday.
I've gone with a 3-0 MK Dons home win. Mo Isa with 2, Troy Parrott with the other one coming off the bench. I feel Doncaster, having watched you on Tuesday, that first half was really positive. You were unlucky not to score. But I certainly think that if we wear you down and we keep the ball like we can and pass the ball from left to right, I honestly think Doncaster will tire. And it all depends on whether we get the early goal. Honestly, hope that Doncaster do stay up. But yeah, I don't think it'll be this week where the Great Escape will start.
I don't think the Great Escape will start at all, Jonathan, but we will see. There's 60 points to play for, an important 3 points coming up on Saturday. So Jonathan's gone with the 3-0. My score prediction will come up at the end of the video, so stick around. But thank you for your time, Jonathan, and hopefully see you Sunday where I'll be talking about a Doncaster Rovers win.
Well, fingers crossed that it's the other way around, but thanks for having me on, mate.
Cheers, pal. See you soon.
All right. See you in a bit.
Once again, big thank you to Jonathan for joining me on the channel. Link to the MK DSA is in the description down below. Moving on to the predicted team lineup. This is thanks to FanHub. If you've not got the app yet, please go ahead and download it. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into. If you do download the app, you'll be stuck in a queue. I've got a golden ticket, so you can skip that. There's only 2 uses remaining on this, so be quick. 18D-ICJ. That'll get you to skip the queue straight into the app. And on the app, you can predict your team lineup. So here is my predicted team lineup for this fixture. Going with Louis Jones in goal, a back 4. I'd like to see a bit of a change in formation, so I've gone with a back 4 of Charlie Seaman at right back, Kyle Noyle and Joseph Alowu at centre back, and Brandon Horton at left back. Potentially, there will be a new centre back brought in this week. We're not sure yet, so there may be a bit of shuffling around there. A midfield four of Ethan Galbraith, Matt Smith in the middle, Josh Martin on the right, Tommy Rowe on the left. And then I'd like to see a front two where Joe Dodu and Kieran Agard could potentially work off each other a little bit more. So that's my predicted team lineup for the game against Milton Keynes Dons. Moving on to the Predictions League table, so I said at the start of the video that there's been movement in this. If you're new to it, we predict the scoreline for every league game. If we get it spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the result of the game right, but not the actual scoreline, we get 1 point. And then if we get it completely wrong, we get no points. And 2 family members predicted a 3-1 defeat, and 2 family members predicted a win. So the table is fully swapped about. Dad moves up to top, joint on points with me on 19. Max leapfrogs Chris on 16 points. Chris holding us all up on the bottom on 13 points. So plenty of movement, plenty of games to go. So keep an eye on this. If you want to keep up to date before the next preview, I put the predictions on my Twitter. Link is in the description down below. And that finally takes me on to my score prediction. I think it's going to be a very tough game. Every game for us is tough this season, but I think the performances are giving me a little bit more hope that we will get results coming towards the end of the season. As I've said, I fully expect us to be a League 2 team next season, but if we can get some points and a little bit of form on the way, I'll be happy. And with the history between the two clubs, I think we are a little bit of a bogey team for MK Dons. I'm going to stick with that. I don't think we're going to win, but I'm going with a 2-2 draw. Our second point away from home, who knows, it may happen. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. If you've enjoyed it, please stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.